Have you ever gotten to the end of the month, looked at your bank account, and just wondered, where did all the money go? I mean, you earn a pretty decent salary, right? Well, you are definitely not alone. And get this, it's not an accident. Today, we're going to break down the system that's pretty much designed to keep you broke. But more importantly, we're going to talk about how to escape it. Let's dive in.
Oof, does this one hit a little too close to home? Maybe you're even living this right now. This feeling captures the very essence of a huge modern problem. But this isn't just some random feeling of being unsatisfied. It is the result of a system that's been very, very carefully engineered.
And there's a name for this system, this endless cycle. It's called the consumption trap. And trust me, once you see it, you will never be able to unsee it.
So what is it exactly? Well, it's the huge difference between performing wealth and actually building it. It's looking successful on the outside. You've got the nice car, the latest phone, while on the inside, you are one missed paycheck away from a total disaster. And this is the hamster wheel that traps millions of people. You work your tail off, you get paid, and then that money immediately vanishes on lifestyle expenses and debt payments. So you feel broke, which makes you work even harder to get a raise, only to increase your spending right along with it. As the source material puts it, this is nothing less than financial slavery with better marketing.
But here's the thing. This isn't just about you having bad habits. Oh no, it's a psychological game, and we have been conditioned to play it our entire lives. I mean, think about it. From the time we're kids, we are taught to connect spending money with happiness and success. Every commercial, every influencer on social media, every movie is screaming at us that we are what we buy. They've made things like buy now, pay later sound like some amazing convenience, not what it actually is, debt. And they've somehow convinced us that a high credit score, which is just a measure of how good you are at borrowing money, is more valuable than having actual wealth in the first place. It's wild. This quote right here just sums up the entire business model perfectly. They sell you an idea of a lifestyle, and then they rent that lifestyle back to you. That car payment, that mortgage, it's basically a rental agreement. Credit isn't some helpful tool, it is the machine they use to extract your future earnings.
So where is the money really going? Let's get into it and break down the 3 biggest things that are absolutely destroying your wealth.
Okay, let's start with the biggest one for most people. Cars. We're going to use the example of a new SUV. Now that sticker price you see, that is just the very beginning of the story. The real cost? Oh, the real cost is so much higher.
All right, let's look at this breakdown. The car's price tag is $30 grand. Over a 7-year loan, you're going to pay around $12,000 just in interest. But the real kicker, the number they never ever want you to calculate, is the opportunity cost. That is the money your car payments could have earned you if you had invested them instead. At a pretty modest return, that's $57,000 you just missed out on.
And this just brilliantly shows the total damage. You add the interest you paid to the opportunity cost you lost, and that $30,000 SUV actually cost you $69,000 in lost wealth. It's not a vehicle, it is a wealth incinerating machine. This is the rule. This is the one rule that can save you. If something loses value over time, like a car, furniture, electronics, you should not go into debt for it. Let me say that again. If you can't buy it with cash, you can't afford it. Period.
Okay, now for wealth destroyer number 2, housing. We're always told that renting is throwing money away, but just look at this. On a standard 30-year mortgage for a $300,000 home, you'll end up paying nearly $280,000 in interest alone. You're basically paying for the house almost twice. Now, don't get me wrong, a home is a really important asset, but it is crucial to understand the massive cost of financing it. It's shelter first and a very long-term, illiquid investment second.
And finally, we have death by 1,000 tiny cuts, subscriptions. Netflix, Spotify, that gym membership you never use. A dozen of these small payments can easily add up to thousands of dollars a year. Think about it. Every single recurring payment is a vote to stay exactly where you are financially.
So how do you fix this? It's not about earning more money. That's just like trying to fill a bucket that's full of holes. The real solution starts with a fundamental shift in how you think about money.
So here we can see the 2 opposing mindsets. The consumer always asks, can I afford the monthly payment? But the builder asks, what is the total cost, including the opportunity cost? A consumer buys liabilities to look successful, while a builder buys assets to actually become successful. See the difference?
This single question right here is the key that unlocks the builder mindset.
It forces you to consider not just the price tag on the item, but all the future wealth you are sacrificing with every single non-essential purchase.
Let's make this super real with a simple example. A $5 coffee. It feels harmless, right? I mean, come on, it's just $5. But what is that coffee really costing you?
Okay, imagine for a second, instead of buying that coffee, you invested that $5 every single day for 30 years at a historically average stock market return of about 10%. How much do you think that would add up to?
$300,000. That is the true cost of that harmless little daily habit. It's not a coffee, it's a retirement fund. This is the awesome power of compound interest, and it is either working for you or it's working against you. There's no in between.
All right, so you understand the trap. You've started to shift your mindset. Now, what do you actually do? Here is the simple, actionable playbook to take back control of your life. And it's really just 2 steps. That's it. First, you build your freedom buffer. This is your emergency fund, 3 to 6 months of living expenses stashed away in a high-yield savings account. Do not invest it, do not touch it. It is your foundation. Second, once that buffer is full, every single extra dollar you have gets invested. The simplest way to do this is a low-cost index fund, which is kind of like buying a tiny piece of the entire stock market. And that's it. And let's be crystal clear about what that freedom buffer really is. It is not just a pile of cash. It is the power to say no. No to a toxic boss, no to a bad situation you're in, no to a pushy salesman. It buys you options, and options are the most valuable thing you can possibly own.
So what's the ultimate takeaway here? Financial freedom. It isn't about getting rich enough to buy anything you want. It's about building a life where you are no longer a slave to your payments or your job or your stuff. It's about breaking the chains, one intentional choice at a time.